Hi, this is Stephen McLean. I host the Finance Leader podcast, and this is bonus episode number 2. For these bonus episodes, I'm going to talk about leadership concepts to prompt you while I am preparing season number 2, which is going to debut on April 28th. And this week, I want to talk about something that I've been thinking about for the last few weeks. Right now, we are anything but business as usual. Our current global challenge requires creative thinking, creative leadership, and thinking beyond what you were doing about a month ago. Now, if anyone says that we are business as usual, I want you to challenge that. I want you to think about what they're saying, because we are not business as usual. Things have changed. We are in one of the greatest challenges of our lives. So if someone says business as usual, I wonder what they have not changed, or what they fail to adapt to, or what they are failing, or what they are not accounting for in this great situation that we're in. Now, things have changed, and they're going to continue to change over the next few weeks. So that requires great leadership. That requires leaders who are continually thinking ahead of what's going on. So as we come out of this crisis, in whatever long it takes, if it's weeks or months or even a year, businesses are going to have to think about crisis in a different way. And I sort of identified 4 things that I wanted to talk about today, but really going to focus on 3 of them, because my 4th one I'm going to dedicate another episode to. But these are things that I've been thinking about, and things that future employees are going to question and think about before joining your organization. So number 1, what is your process for initializing a crisis plan? Do you have a crisis plan? Do you have something in place? Have you thought about what happens when we get into this kind of event or this kind of challenge? Some organizations delayed, some organizations were more prepared, and some organizations initiated their crisis plan very quickly and were able to adapt very quickly. Now, I believe those are all conditions on leadership and the type of leadership an organization has. Number 2, how did the organization care for its employees? Caring for the employees is job 1. Now, what are you doing to support your team during this time? Now, I believe that this is definitely going to be a question that is going to come up in every job interview going forward once we get out of this situation. Employees are going to want to know what happened during this crisis, how the organization supported them. Were they quick to lay off? Do they have the ability to hold on to their employees a little longer? Were they set up to go work from home quicker? Did businesses get creative in how they changed their lines of business so they could still generate revenue? There's all sorts of things that future job applicants are going to ask and would be interested in how the organization adapted to a crisis. And I'm sure that this is going to be continued discussions in the job search. Employees are going to probably do their research and see how organizations reacted or acted or were able to overcome this challenge. Number 3 is about IT infrastructure improvements. Again, some of the organizations who were quick to adapt probably already had a good solid infrastructure in place. Now, those who delayed, probably because they didn't have a robust IT infrastructure, or they never considered that everyone would have to work from home at some point, or they never made the investment, or never even considered the thought that we would put more people at home than in the office. So again, this is going to be a question that's going to come up in the job search and in the job interviews going forward. This is something that organizations are going to have to consider and think about as they come out of this crisis, continue to invest in an IT infrastructure that provides an opportunity for them to continue business seamlessly as you transition from the office to an alternate location or to home. And the 4th thing is probably the most important, that I'm going to dedicate to another bonus episode in about 2 weeks. And I believe that is business owners need to recession-proof their business. How long can a business operate when the global or national economy is in crisis? That's going to be something that business owners and leaders are going to think about. How long can you operate as the economy has had a downturn and the same opportunities are not there? Again, it's the same thing when I started this episode. Are you still thinking yourself as business as usual, or are you getting creative to find different lines of business? Are you adapting your business to then meet meet a different market, a different segment, something different that you can generate revenue during a crisis. These are things that business owners are going to have to think about. Leaders are going to have to think about. They're going to have to figure out and build it into their crisis plan that we're going to find new ways to serve our customers or find a whole new customer base in case something like this happens again. So these are 4 things, again, that I want to challenge leaders out there, especially business owners. Number 1, what's your process for initiating a crisis plan? Did you act right away or did you delay? Number 2, how did you care for your employees? Number 3, what's your IT infrastructure improvements that you're going to make going forward so you can adapt to such a crisis? And number 4, which of course I'm going to talk in more depth in a couple of weeks, and that is, how are you going to recession-proof your business and be able to still operate when the global and national economy has had a significant downturn, just like we are facing today? Again, I am working on season number 2 of the podcast, and it's going to debut on April 28th. I'm really looking forward bringing to you some additional great content so you can apply it to your leadership. Again, I appreciate all your feedback. I want to ask you to please join my free Facebook group. The link is in the description of this episode. And I'm asking you to please continue to grow and to grow others around you. Take care of your team. Take care of your employees out there during this crisis. I am encouraging you and I'm expecting you to look out after them. Now, go do great things and set a great example in this tough time, and I'll see you next week. Thank you.